It's often said that a football season is a marathon and not a sprint, and there's just so much evidence to back that up. For example, there are some players who looked clueless when the season began and were even labelled flops by a lot of people, but they've managed to pick themselves up and start shutting things down. Who are some of the players who fall into this category? You'll find out in this video today. These are 7 players who are now firing after a slow start to the season. Top of the list has to be Phil Foden. He managed just 2 goals in the first 3 months of the season, and everyone had already assumed that this was just a continuation of the terrible 24-25 season. Of course, that season is still fresh in the memories of a lot of fans. It was labelled by many as the worst season by a reigning Premier League player of the season. So seeing as he started the 25-26 season in what seemed like similar fashion, rival fans made fun of him, the media put pressure on him, and even his own fans began to question him. In fact, with Rayan Cherki having joined in the summer, there were a lot of talks that the Frenchman had come in and taken Foden's place in the team. But Foden didn't just sit back and take it. November came along and he started to kick into gear. After scoring just 2 goals in the previous 3 months, he went on to score 4 in November alone, and that was a start of great things for him this season. He went on a run where he scored in 4 consecutive Premier League games between November and December. In those 4 games, he scored 7 times. This bumped his tally for the season to 14 direct goal involvements in 23 games. For someone who started the season rather slowly, these are some really good numbers, and it already feels like he's back to that form that won him the Player of the Season award 2 seasons back. But of course, Foden is not the only Englishman on this list. Do you know who the others are? Take a guess in the comments and we'll see if you're right soon. While you're there, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so that you never miss out on our amazing content. Let's now talk about Antoine Griezmann. At the beginning of the season, many people said that Griezmann was finished and he'd not be able to do much for Atletico Madrid. And you could understand why that was said about him, as he went on a 7-month La Liga goal drought between February and September. He finally broke his duck in the derby against Real, and even though a goal in the derby would always be huge, it was still just 1 goal in the first 3 months of the league season, so it was still not good. But slowly Griezmann started to get back to his groove. From managing just 1 goal in the first 10 La Liga games of the season, Griezmann now has 5 goals in his last 8. He's now Atletico's 2nd highest goal scorer in the league this season and is in the top 10 in the race for the Pichichi. The Frenchman started slowly, but he's now firing everywhere. Still in La Liga, let's talk about Jude Bellingham. Remember we said that there are a couple more Englishmen on this list? Yeah? Well, he's one of them. He missed the first few games of the season because he was recovering from his shoulder surgery, so that already made it a very rough start for him. After he returned, it still took him some time to get up to speed. It looked like he wasn't fully fit, but once he finally got in his mood, he started to rock and roll. From having a slow start to the season, Bellingham went on to score against Juventus, against Barcelona, and against Valencia. He really went from having no goal contribution in the first 2 months to now having 9 goal involvements this season, most of them coming in big games and in crunch time. But we would say that the face of this group of players this season just has to be Rodrigo. This dude had the absolute worst start to the season, and it went on for too long. He failed to score in the first 4 months of the season and even broke the record for longest scoreless run by an attacker in Real Madrid history. It looked like he was absolutely hopeless and should be banished from the team, but he met his favourite opponent, Man City, in the Champions League in December, got a goal against them, and that seemed to restore his spark. Rodrigo had no goal and 2 assists in his first 17 games of the season, but now he has 4 goal contributions in his last 3 games. He has also now started each of Real Madrid's last 3 games in the league and Champions League, after having previously started just 4 games all season. Of course, it's important that Rodrigo keeps up this form for much longer before we can truly say that he's back to his best, but what we've seen in the past few games have surely been far better than what he's been showing in the first few months of the season. Now, another Englishman who belongs here is Morgan Rogers. He, as well as Aston Villa, had a very slow start to the season. Rogers failed to record a single goal contribution, while Villa failed to record a single win in their first 5 games of the season. But the moment Rogers started to perform at the level required of him, Villa also started to record wins. Rogers has since bounced back from that slow start, and he now boasts 10 direct goal involvements in 17 Premier League appearances, and has managed to drag Aston Villa to 3rd in the Premier League and a potential title race. Rogers himself is now in the top 5 in the Premier League Golden Boot race, having recorded 7 goal contributions in his last 6 games.
Hello YouTube family, Merry Christmas and a huge Happy New Year to all of you. With the 2026 World Cup on the way, the energy in the football world is already building, and we are thrilled to be sharing it with this amazing community. To celebrate, we have lined up some holiday surprises in the Goal 90 shop. A bunch of your favourite jerseys are already up to 50% off. Shipping is on us, and because you are part of our YouTube fam, you can grab an extra 10% off with the code YouTubeFam. Thanks for all the love and support. 2026 is going to be massive. Let's enjoy every moment together.
Another Englishman who sort of is in the Premier League Golden Boot race is Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and he surely belongs here. The former Everton man had the worst start to life at Leeds. He missed the first 2 games of the season because he wasn't fit enough, and when he finally was, he managed only 1 goal in his first 11 appearances, missing a bunch of chances on the way. At this point, a lot of people were already writing him off. He'd not been good enough in recent years at Everton's, and after the way he started, everybody already started to label him a flop signing. They swore that there was no way back for him and recommended that he just leave England. But in the last few days of November, he just decided to lock in, and he has not looked back since. He has now scored in each of his last 5 games for Leeds, managing 6 goals during that run. That has pushed him up to top 5 in the list of the Premier League's highest goal scorers this season. If he keeps this up, Calvert-Lewin might just sneak into Thomas Tuchel's 2026 World Cup squad. We'll now wrap up with John Duran. For him, the slow start to the season was not really about form. It was down to off-field issues. First of all, he joined Fenerbahce because of Mourinho, but the gaffer was sacked early in the season, which made Duran very unhappy. He even came close to deciding not to play for the club again. Like that wasn't enough, he also struggled with bone inflammation between August and October, forcing him to miss a handful of games. But the moment he was able to put all of that behind him, he started to fire for Fenerbahce. After an extended period of absence at the beginning of the season, he now boasts 5 goal contributions in his last 6 league games, including a very important 95th minute equaliser against rivals Galatasaray in December. This brings him to 6 goal involvements in 8 Super League games this season. Those are surely very good numbers. Now, will these players continue to fire until the end of the season, or will they suffer another dip? Also, are there more players who started the season rather slowly but are now going really hard? Say their names in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so that you never miss out on new content. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.